watching Get the Skinny with your hosts, Brian Kilby and JD Church.
Yes, this is Get the Skinny episode 3 with JD Church and Brian Kilby. I'm Brian Kilby, and with me here I have JD Church. He's awesome.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Yep, I try.
We are victorious this week because we'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little tease.
Little tease. So, we're getting a late start. We usually record this before JD does Fanboy Versus, but I had a meal that I had to go to. It was our Christmas celebration here on January 9th, pardon me. You are not hearing things. I really had my Christmas dinner at January. But it was pretty good. I ate very lightly there. Admittedly, I did go home and snack a little bit. I've not been good this week, but I'll tell you later. Not a lot going on in the way of news.
No. I mean, mostly, there's a lot of, I think there's still a lot of, kind of what we talked about last week, there's still a lot of, most of the news sources, I think the diet stuff has fallen out, but it's a lot of what we talked about as far as reporting on, New Year's diet kind of stuff, and most of these articles, there's a lot of articles out there right now that are fluff stories. I wouldn't say that there's a lot of big breaking news or anything new right now as far as diet stuff goes.
And that's kind of what we're here for, is we're kind of a niche, because there's not, there is some hard news, diet and health, news, but I would say there's so much noise with fluff and garbage. We're here to sort of sift that out. We're like the liver. We're like we're your liver. That's how you can look at us.
Right.
Yeah, but no.
Liver of news and information related to diet things that we only know about because we're trying to lose weight, but don't really know anything.
And again, the whole, I want to tell you guys, first and foremost, we are not doctors, though I have consulted a doctor. We're here to just sort of share our insights into our struggles and our journey in losing weight with you. Just a little background. This is the third episode of the show. We've been doing it because we want to lose weight. I lost a tremendous amount of weight, gained about half of it back, but I did it in public. And that was of great benefit to me. It was not only allowed me to sort of keep honest, it also let me, share what I did and what I was doing with others. And a lot of other people, lost weight in this journey. And, most of them actually, believe it or not, kept it off. And I've kept most of it off, but not all of it. And, we want to do that. We want to do this. We want to share this with you. We want to help you, and we want to help ourselves. We want to get there. I'm looking to drop another 100 pounds. JD's looking to drop, what, 2?
Yeah, I'm kind of, 280 is my goal, so I think my first goal right now is 450, because there's no way for me to get down to that point without having goals. But I can talk about that in a little bit too. But I think my first level goal is 450.
Yeah, I've actually set my first level goal, which is 280. So 280. I have a goal of 240 and a stretch goal of 220, but like I said, we'll go into it. Hey, you're actually the one who did the show notes this week, because I was trying to figure out why the streaming wasn't working. What did you have in the way of news this week, JD?
Well, like I said, not too much. There was a review of a book that's out right now that's talking about. It's more of like a diet manifesto, if you will, and so there was an article in the Times about it. It's I don't know. It's more of like, this is more of a point maybe for discussion just between us, is talking about there's this tug and pull as far as dieting and genetics go, as far as what is our default, what is our disposition. And I think that this kind of talks about that in terms of, some sides say, well, it's all calories. It's all, it only matter, it's diet, exercise, calories. Some will say it's, certain kinds of food that you can eat and types. And then that's where most of these niche sort of diets come from, like the, high protein diets, low carb diets, the particular, eating a particular kind of food or one type of food. These are the ones that are saying, well, those are the things that matter. Weight Watchers is more of an example of more of like a calorie-driven diet, and I think
With fuzzy
there's
math.
even with fuzzy math and some weird logic. One example, and again talking about like Weight Watchers, is they now have a deal, I guess, under their Points Plus where like fruit doesn't count. And
They recently readjusted their scale because, weight loss and diet, it's almost like psychology. It's not it's a soft science. It's ironically speaking, it's a very soft science. But that was my Pop and Fresh impression. It wasn't very good. But
Nice.
thank you.
Yeah.
But it's a soft science, and
anything for a food joke. That's what.
Yeah, I'm easy. But so yeah, they've recently adjusted their point system. So now it's even more nebulous, and
I mean, the basic concept, I mean, and, I don't want to get too far into a discussion of Weight Watchers here, but I mean, the basic concept, as far as I understand it, is instead of calories can be complicated for some people to calculate. Why, I don't know, because the number is on the package, but whatever. But sometimes it's easier to say, instead of saying 300, it's easier to say 1. So most foods are given a point, and you have so many points for the day. But then they start doing weird things, in my opinion, like fiber is like negative points. So the more fiber that you eat, you can actually take points off. So theoretically, if you ate like a 5-pound bowl of oatmeal, you could eat an entire chocolate cake, and they would balance each other out.
I don't. Fiber helps, sort of binds to fat. And fiber, you can actually get your net fat total by subtracting the number of grams of fiber from a meal, from the total grams of fat. So I don't think it cuts out the calories, but their scale takes fat
But that's
into
what I'm
account.
saying. That's what I'm saying in the terms of, and now that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the advantage of counting calories over the point system, because the point system is just raw points.
Yeah. And it's a way for them to sell something to you, like books and food and things.
And exactly that
calculators.
too. So that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm saying it's a little fuzzy. But now they have a deal where I guess under their Points Plus or whatever program, that fruit doesn't count as well. So now you can eat all the fruit that you want. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't
That
matter.
sounds like
the fact
trying to
that
buy your way into heaven. It's like,
it's a little.
You
it's
go to
a little-
purgatory for a while, and your family can pay some money to the church, and you go to heaven. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's not unlike Scientology. But anyway.
Imagine the Catholic Church. But,
A whole different show, but whatever. Anyway, so, but that's kind of, that's one example. But anyway, so the breadth of this article, and we'll never link to it, so you won't even know what we're talking about. But
No.
Here's a hint for those of you that are new to shows on the TF Radio Network. We always talk about linking to things in the show notes that we never link to.
Never,
So you'll
ever.
never be able to find this article that we're talking about.
Google it. Google is your
Unless you're
friend.
very good at Googling it. But anyway, the point...
We need an intern.
We really do.
Yeah.
The point that this story is basically trying to get across, and what ends up being, as far as this book is saying, is that it's that age-old adage that it comes down to carbs. That everything is based on carbs, and if you just eat a low-carb diet, then you'll magically somehow lose weight or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, can you go on a low-carb diet and lose weight? Absolutely, you probably can, but it all matters in what sticks. I mean, it's just like, I think the mantra for this show is going to be calories in, calories out. And
Or
it's all
psycho.
about, because it's what calories you take in, how you work them out. I mean, there's a little bit of give in there, like we said. I mean, if you eat more fiber will bind to fat. So you can, and fiber is healthy for you for a number.
Fiber is awesome. I love fiber. I have a bottle right here. Awesome.
There you go. But I think, and this gets in, so I mean,
Methylcellulose. That's the good fiber. Methylcellulose. Remember that. Methylcellulose.
So, but this gets into what I really wanted to talk about, and maybe talk more about on this particular show, which is we talked last week, and we talked the last few weeks about the calories in, calories out thing, but we didn't really talk about what to eat, and maybe we ought to try. And again, we are not dietitians, consult your physician, get an idea for what you actually want to eat.
Yeah.
But I think we can have a little bit of a discussion of things to eat and what you want to look for and what you want to look out for. And I think that, again, fiber is another good thing to talk about. I don't want to put that down and say, that you don't want to eat fiber, or that's not important, because I think it absolutely is. In fact, as a part of my regular eating regimen, I have a bowl of oatmeal, 5 days a week, essentially.
I'm not a big oatmeal fan. I get my fiber in other ways. I wish I liked oatmeal, but I don't know. I was just forced to eat it as a kid. And as a kid, I would make it. My mom would make it. Then I don't know why. No wonder I'm fat. She would load it down with sugar and then stick a piece of bread in it and stir it up. We're programmed to be fat. Yeah. That's what parents in the South do. No wonder we're all so fat.
Yeah, and I have a little bit of that left over. I mean, I have to be careful. Well, and I've done a few things. Like when I first started to make oatmeal, and I make it for breakfast, I get up pretty early. I mean, after we work at 7:30, and I'm usually up by 5:30. And that gives me enough time to like make my coffee and breakfast and everything. But when I originally started to do it, I was actually making 2 servings worth of oatmeal. So instead of like the half cup serving, I was making a whole cup. So I cut it back to half. I still put about a tablespoon of brown sugar, which isn't the end of the world. I mean, as far as especially a lot of quick breakfast stuff that you can get a lot higher calorie than that.
Sugar, yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe a teaspoon of margarine, but that's it with it. I mean, so that's not too bad. That's basically just enough to keep it from tasting like grain, because it is, and it's not it's not the instant oatmeal. It's the old fashioned. So just a little bit better. It's not like fully traditional oatmeal. But anyway, that's it. I mean, that's what, and I have that with a banana. So, there you go. Potassium, fiber, that's a solid breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, you will basically be the toilet bowl and the mosquito's best friend.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, yes. But that's hard to do, I think, for some people, though. Breakfast is one of those meals that's so hard for so many people, especially in our society.
I'm a drive-through breakfast fiend. I try to every day to go to. I live in the South of North America, and we have a chain here called Bojangles, and that I am very fond of. That makes biscuits. And if you go outside of the South, sometimes it's very hard to find biscuits, and I become a very sad Brian. I don't really do the breakfast burrito, which is apparently popular everywhere else in the United States.
It's really popular here.
But I try to get a biscuit maybe with chicken or something, like the Southern style chicken biscuit at McDonald's, or it's actually a copy of a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit. That's my usual breakfast.
Yeah, and not to criticize,
400 calories. I mean, total 400 calories. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. My only concern would be, what's the sodium level on something like that? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So,
but
and
it's
that's
so delicious.
Yeah, but see, that's something to really watch out for, and I think and that's why I say, like, the what you eat matters, and you have to be really cautious about those kinds of things, because we are prone to really high sodium diets, especially here in the States, because we eat so much fast food, so much prepared food. I mean, food that's, pre-cooked or preset, or boxed dinners, those kinds of things. And, while it's amazing that we can get all this stuff that has these long shelf lives, it's not that the preservatives themselves are bad, but they're typically based on sodium, and that makes our salt levels really high.
Yeah, and I can actually say from personal experience, back when I was probably 40 or 50 pounds heftier than I am now, I actually cut my sodium intake down probably by about 70%. I mean, I was eating so much, sodium-rich, salty foods, and I honestly lost a tremendous amount of water weight, like in a very short time. I can't speak to how healthy that is, but I have to say I don't know that there's anything healthy about water weight.
No, I don't. I mean, it's not. You really should be processing those things through, plus the sodium levels. I mean, that can lead to heart disease and things like that. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's something to really to watch out for. 400 calories for breakfast. I mean, that's not the end of the world. It's not too bad. I think I calculated my breakfast around 300 calories, maybe.
Really?
250, 300?
The banana is about, 80? That tablespoon of brown sugar, you're probably looking at 100 calories there.
Yeah, but the oatmeal is pretty light
Cup
as far
oatmeal.
as.
The cup of 1 cup of oatmeal should be about 300 calories.
Yeah, but it's not a cup. It's a half a cup.
Okay. So yeah, you're looking probably, if I had to guesstimate, probably 350. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and considering
The
that most of
margarine,
that
the margarine,
again,
yeah, the margarine.
the margin's a little bit. It's like 80. I think it may be another 80. But I mean, and again too, that's mostly fiber and getting potassium out of the banana.
Yeah.
That's good stuff there too.
Good
so,
stuff. Good stuff.
I mean, I don't want to get too much. I mean, I guess I don't want to go on too much about what I eat. I mean, I make a salad for myself for lunch. One of the things that's really advantageous for me, and not everyone is like this, and I'm kind of weird, and this may help me as far as going into the diet process. I don't get bored with eating food.
Okay.
I can eat the same thing every
Yes.
day, and it doesn't bother me.
Okay, I've wanted to talk early on in the show about meal plans, and I think this is probably a good opportunity to at least broach the subject. When I started losing weight, when I first started dieting back in 2005, I actually developed a meal plan, and that's something I've yet to do. But yes, I can eat the same thing over and over. So my breakfast every day was 2 pieces of toast and 3 pieces of Canadian bacon, which I was looking at 160 calories, which is not a lot. It's not a lot of calories. I probably needed more, but it was a way to sort of get me. It was a way to kickstart my metabolism, and I would eat less. I would be accustomed to eating less. Then I was able to balance back and forth until I hit a sweet spot. But it's very important to make a meal plan, or at least have an eating strategy when it comes to dieting and weight loss. I mean, that sounds obvious, but everyone says, "Well, I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to eat less." Well, until you put it down on paper or have an actual strategy, you don't have any proof that you're eating well. You don't have a model to say, "Yes, I am eating well. I am eating healthy." You really have to prove it. You have to put it down on paper. You have to model it. You have to have some sort of structure where you measure your calories in, your calories out. That's like JD said, that's our mantra. You have to model this. And like I said, I started off basically the same breakfast every day. I would alternate my lunch between a soup and a salad, a very simple soup, low sodium. It was low sodium Progresso, and a salad without salad dressing. And on alternating days, it would just be a turkey sandwich. And dinner was usually a protein shake, because I was lifting out quite a bit. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I say. I mean, I don't have any variation in my breakfast or lunch throughout the week. I have oatmeal for breakfast, and I make a salad for lunch. So 5 days a week, breakfast and lunch, I'm eating the exact same thing. Now, dinner, and I kind of talked about this, and this maybe kind of segue this into more of our set discussions for the week as far as like our weigh-in and everything else. But and I made a blog post about it as far as my Achilles heel is like the evenings and the weekends. And I think that's probably common for a lot of people.
Yes.
I mean, my breakfast and lunch during the week are so solid. I mean, those are usually a really nice set amount of calories. I know exactly how much that is.
Yes.
And then we get to dinner, and then it's just based on whatever I make. I mean, we buy, chicken or whatever, and then it's just whatever we put on it. The really bad thing is, and the thing I have to get away from is, we make dinner, we make our plates, and then the food gets left out. So then after done with the plate, it's easy to go back and get seconds,
Yes.
or pick at it or whatever. And that's what I have to work on as far as that goes. But hey, apparently something's working. At least this week for both of us.
Yes.
So do you want to? Well, why don't you go ahead and start?
Okay, weigh in this week. Last week I weighed in at 345. I started out at 343. And of course I started out, I had like I said, my Christmas dinner today, one of them, for my place of employment. Because of a snow, I actually had my real Christmas holiday like last weekend before the show. So, but this week, I weighed in 3 pounds under. That's pretty good. it's it's about it's I really want to keep sort of in that range, that 3 pound a week range, if I can. I think at this point, if whatever I lose is most likely going to be water weight, and it's not hard. It's not hard to start losing weight. It's hard to keep losing weight. So I've been trying to eat healthier. I've been watching what I eat for breakfast, keeping my caloric intake consistent. Lunch has been fairly simple. I snack during the day, between 200 and 300 calories between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. But like you, lately, dinner has been my been the hard thing to keep up with. I say that, stating that I did lose weight, but I've not been the best that I possibly could be in doing that. What about you, JD?
Thankfully, something worked. Well, actually, I know what worked. But so last week I weighed in at, was it 516.6, and this week I am at 513.
Heck yeah.
So 3 pounds also, which is excellent. Kind of nice. We both lost 3 pounds. Very good. For me, I went crazy on Tuesday. And if you follow me on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, you probably know what I'm going to say already, which is that I started to take the stairs at work. And now when I say that, I work on the 5th floor. So that's a lot of stairs. And I don't recommend that you do that. Because let me tell you, the first time I thought I was going to die. I got to the 3rd floor and I sort of wanted to kill myself. But I pushed through and continued to do that. So I'm taking the stairs basically twice a day because the not lunchroom, but break room essentially that I eat on is on the 2nd floor. So get in the morning, hoof it up to the 5th floor, choke for 5 or 10 minutes, start my work day, and then get to lunch period or lunchtime or whatever. Take the stairs down to the 2nd floor, have my lunch with my friends, and then climb up the 4th floor, 4 floors back up to my desk, and then again try to choke, and then at the end of the day go back all the way back down. So, but that made a big difference, I think. I mean, that's more physical activity than I have had in a long time. Haven't been really working out or hitting the gym at all. There's kind of a side thing that makes going to the gym really hard for me, and I have not really mentioned on the show, but I have really bad night blindness. And with the weather and the sun being not around very much in the evening, I can't drive to the gym after work.
I didn't know that.
So yeah,
is it not? Is it a matter of like getting more beta carotene or?
Possibly, but I mean, I'm getting a lot now. But it's I think it's partly genetic. My mom has it too, and basically at night, the lights just drowned out what I can see. I could lose all sense of depth perception. So I can't tell how far cars are away that are in front of me. Anyway, it's kind of a side note. But the point is that I can't really drive myself to the gym. So I either have to get Amanda to take me or whatever. And it's just not worked out very easily as of yet. It'll be easier once it gets into summer and we've got light later into the day and I can go to the gym after work. But right now, I think taking the stairs this week made a huge difference. I'm going to stick with that. And so I kind of want to move in, mainly, maybe have a discussion. We'll go into the next thing. So, the other thing that I'm doing, I was going to mention, I'm really digging this networking thing, and I learned that from talking about taking the stairs and stuff. Had an amazing response from you all, essentially listeners, but also from friends and coworkers and things. I've got my coworkers taking the stairs.
That's awesome.
I got one lady in my office. I was kind of telling her I was taking the stairs, and I was like, "Hey, you got to take the stairs," and She's like, I don't know. I was like, look, I weigh 515 pounds. if I can drag that up 5 floors worth of stairs, you can take the stairs. So she said now that's like her thing. She's like, JD is taking the stairs. I can do this.
I just go up one flight, so it's not that big a deal for me. So I do it every day, but I may have to start just doing it. I work in a 7-story building. Actually, I work in a 5-story building, but the one adjacent to us is 7 stories. I may start just going up, going over and just, taking a break, and doing that. That's I used to love walking and running upstairs, but I don't do it so much anymore. I guess the one thing that I've been doing occasionally, my wife Kim is really been into fitness and dieting. She's actually lost almost 30 pounds in the last 2 months. She's been really active, and I used to be the one who was always active and always pushing her to work out more and be more fit. But lately she's been kicking my butt. So it's winter and it's incredibly cold. The temperature yesterday was about 20, 25 degrees with 15-mile-an-hour winds. I think the wind chill is down to 5 miles an hour. And we actually went out jogging in that, right into a bummer, heck of a headwind. It was freezing cold. We went total about 40 minutes. Now, I was actually pretty impressed by that. If I can go out in that sort of temperature, I can hopefully continue to do that, because it's not going to be that cold every day. Of course, I'm actually facing a snowstorm, so I may not be able to go out and actually be active outside. But we have an Xbox 360 with the Kinect, and we this week got the EA Active 2, which we really wanted because we've heard that it's the best fitness game available today. And my wife Kim is really into it. I've yet to pick it up and play it. But the cool thing is, right now I'm actually too fat for the balance board. For the Wii Fit balance board, I am. I'm like 10 pounds too heavy. Not too heavy for the floor, so I'm going to really try to focus on that. And hopefully burn some calories and maybe get down. Once I start losing weight, it's going to be hard to stop me. But historically, when I've gotten into a lull, it's been really hard to get me going. I can go up and down a little bit pretty easily. Once you at a certain level, it's easy to go up and down a couple of pounds. It's consistently losing weight, because you can go up or down 3 pounds in a week just by taking in less water or just by eating a little bit less. And you're not really necessarily losing weight. You're just, there's less mass at that point in time at which you weigh. But once I actually start losing weight, it should be pretty hard to stop me. But I'm happy with my 3 pounds, but I'll be happier when I've caught up with Kim and it's 30 pounds. She is she's really goading me right now to be more active. And like I was telling the listeners, JD, while you stepped out, is I used to be the one who was really fit and active, and I would always push Kim into being more active. And the tables have totally turned. She's lost 30 pounds in the last 2 months, and it's pretty awesome.
Well, and it's, and I think for those of us that have or do struggle with weight, I mean, it's cyclical like that. It's gonna go like that, but that's good. I mean, that's why it's nice to have someone like that, be it a spouse or friend or someone that, and that's why I say it's like, I think I'm really getting into this concept of weight loss as a network, and having other people not only to hold accountable, but it also gives you someone to kind of report to and tell your stories to. So, definitely recommend that. And in particular for our listeners, I mean, let us be a part of your network. We're more than, we'll, post your comments on Twitter, post your weight loss. And I was talking to PlayStation Gamer, I think is his tag. And, he was saying that he used to be, 430 pounds, and he started swimming. I think, and has lost like 170 pounds over the last 3 years. Yeah, and so, but that's the kind of cool stuff that we can get, and we're more than happy to share those stories and talk about that stuff on the show, because that's the whole idea, is that we become, a network. You help us, we help you, kind of thing. You were talking about the Kinect, though. I'm really kind of thinking about doing that. I'm kind of in an odd position as far as the gym. I've not traditionally been very good about going to the gym, and especially as I kind of talked about with it being dark, it's hard for me to go. And if I could work out here at the house and do that, that'd be great. I don't have a large enough spare room to have like workout equipment.
I have a building, and I have a ton of equipment. I have a Nautilus machine, a plate machine, a heavy bag, a Bowflex, a bike, a speed bag, about a half a ton of weights. But it's flipping cold, and the building's not heated. And I mean, I really thought that I could go out and exercise, and I can go out and jog in there, which it sounds kind of silly. But since the wind doesn't pick up inside of the building, I can sort of jog inside of it. But it's hard to do anything. It's really hard to work on that heavy bag for 20 minutes with it being 15 degrees.
But I'm kind of in this weird spot now where, see, with my healthcare at work, we have a system of that off of what your monthly premiums would be, and you have a year to qualify for it. But one of the ways that they had set up to qualify was by having a gym membership. So I've had the gym membership for the last few months, and I got like the healthcare points where it's like 2 or something. It's not amazing, but you consider it's the total points you need is 24.
Yeah,
it's considerable. So, but I don't get that anymore. You only get it for actual exercising work that you do. So in my mind, I'm kind of saying, $50 a month for our gym membership that we never use, or I could save up and get an Xbox and Kinect.
Dude, it's pretty sweet. I mean, it really is.
Well, and I can see it both ways, because in one sense I can say, well, with the Kinect, it's different than the Wii, right? Because with the Wii, you just have the control. I mean, you have the controller or the board, but with the Kinect, it can actually see you and see your movements. So
every single game I've played so far beats the crap out of you. It's pretty awesome.
And that's what I need. I mean, I need, that's the physical activity is the more important thing, the cardio.
Yeah, even Wii Fit isn't that hardcore. I mean, Kim loves the hula hoop. I mean, I've seen her like do that in forever. And it totally beats her up, but for the most part, the stuff is kind of kiddie exercise. It's not really that effective.
So, well, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's something I'm going to think about. I mean, I've been paying $50 a month to use a gym for the last, like I said, 3 or 4 months. So it's probably $200 I've dropped into the gym that I haven't even used.
Yeah.
Or I could get a Kinect, use the Xbox not only as part of my home entertainment system,
yes,
but also have it for the physical activity.
We could actually also do some stuff for New Soundwave, like gaming tournaments and stuff.
Ooh, gaming tournaments on Xbox. Anyway, other show to think about. So, have you done any blogging this week, Brian?
I promised a video blog. I didn't get to it. I've been a bad host. I still plan on doing. I may do it tomorrow. I may take a video camera with. I anticipate being snowed in tomorrow, and our employer actually, in cases of inclement weather, will actually book a hotel room for you, which is pretty awesome. So I actually may take a camera and do a video blog on. I wanted to do something on sort of media, weight loss media, like Biggest Loser and the Half-Ton shows on, I think it's the Learning Channel, which I love making fun of, but I don't have any right to. Mama, I really want some Mountain Dew. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, but God, that's like one of my routine, like when out and about, one of my routine jokes. It's like, Mom, I want to play some Xbox. But, it's the guy's actually losing weight. I mean, he was near the brink of death. But he's the Half-Ton Teen, at least, is working to lose weight. And, I'm happy for him. But I really think that the media sort of gives the absolute wrong impression of weight loss and such. But
shocking.
Yes, yeah, I know.
That's so strange.
Imagine that.
The media is usually so good at reporting honest and correct news.
But I'll get that done sometime this week.
Cool. Yeah, I actually wrote one blog entry. I think I mentioned it before. I talked about, and I'll pull it up here real quick. But basically, the rundown was talking about some of my old eating habits, and I kind of run through kind of what I talked about earlier as far as what I eat for breakfast, what I eat for lunch. I mean, I only either drink diet drinks or drink tea, so I'm not like drinking a lot of sugary drinks or anything like that. Though I don't drink a lot of just raw water.
I have a hard time drinking water. I've been lately drinking a lot of caffeine-free diet soda, which there's nothing really bad so much in diet soda. It's very low in sodium. I don't buy a very good friend of mine, like family. I'd actually performed the wedding ceremony for Kim and I. Talks about aspartame all the time, about the evils of it, and I don't buy that. But I'm still kind of wary though, with considering the amount of soft drinks that I can take in. About getting my fill. I take a lot of fluids in, but it's mostly soft drinks.
But that isn't. I mean, my understanding, and we may do some more research, and we'll talk about it probably on a future show, is that typically fluid is fluid. It doesn't matter whether it's in food or what it's in. The important thing is you're getting enough fluids. But that's one thing to pay attention to. As your physical activity increases, and you perspire and things, you need more fluids. But you do want to watch that, like I said, as far as sodium intakes and things like that. So, but I just kind of go into a brief discussion of that and some of my diet habits. So that was kind of cool. I need to do more of those. I think maybe I'll save it. So we'll kind of close. I know we're kind of closing out here, but I think one thing that I mentioned a couple weeks ago, but I haven't gone into great detail, and probably ought to do that on one of these shows. And I'll do some research, a little bit of research ahead of time, but. I think I'm going to talk about my gastric stapling.
Oh, that would that you can share that. I think that would be something valuable to share with people. Not everyone knows that you actually had that surgery. 10 years ago?
Yep, just over 10 years ago. In fact, it was 11 years ago. In December. Yep.
So you're going to do a blog entry about that?
I might do a blog entry. I think I'd like to do part of a show as well.
That would be awesome. One thing I think let's sort of challenge ourselves and the listeners with. Let's come up with a meal plan, and if you want to email us, or post to our Facebook page, or send it to us on Twitter, at GTS Podcast. You can find us online at gettheskinny.org. But develop a meal plan, the number of calories you want to take in, what you want to eat, and let's see if we can stick to it. And actually, one thing I want to also, JD, maybe talk about next week. I know that when I lost weight, I had actually several different goals and sub goals, and I wanted to reward myself in reaching certain levels. Maybe that's something to think about, how we can reward ourselves once we hit our first goal and maybe our secondary goal and our final goal, because that helps keeps me anyway motivated. So maybe something.
Yeah, that's something to think about. I get concerned about doing that because I don't know. I don't want to get too reward heavy. On myself as far as those plateaus, because then it's like, well, am I doing it for the reward or doing it for the right? But yeah, that's
as long as you do it, that's all that matters.
And then I can't really afford the rewards that I would I would want. So those things, it's like I would go ahead and just do that anyway if I could afford it. So I have to be cautious of that. But
that's true.
So I think the things that I think, well, I guess we could talk about it more next week. But I think the things I would be more inclined to do, and I'll maybe think about that, are not things that I want, but things I would want maybe to do, as the weight comes down, because that's when you've been as large.
That's kind of what I'm saying. One of my rewards is stuff that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
like buy pants at a store.
That was something that was something that I really was looking forward to, and something that was really gratifying. It was being able to finally buy a pair of pants at Walmart.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I've never done that.
Thankfully, I'm still getting my pants at Walmart. I'm happy there, but I worry if I gain another 20 or 30 pounds, I'm going to be buying my stuff on the internet again.
Yeah. So, but anyway, cool. Well, yeah, I'm gonna try and turn out some more blog entries and stuff. I need to talk about my full week of taking the stairs, I think, so after tomorrow. So anyway,
cool,
good stuff. Good
awesome
show.
Yeah, well, again, you can sort of find us online at gettheskinny.org or gtspodcast.info, but who wants to use that? Follow us on Twitter at GTS Podcast. What's your Twitter handle, JD?
Twitter for me is still at the JD Church. I have not as of yet been able to take JD Church, but I'm working on it.
Cool. I actually came up with an About Me page today, so you can actually get all of my stuff at about.me/Kilby, KILBY. You may want to do that, JD. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, okay.
All the hip social media people are doing it. So.
Oh, okay. All the cool kids are doing it.
Yes,
So definitely,
exactly.
Sign up for that.
Okay. Any last words? Any last thoughts?
No, just keep at it, and like I said, keep sending us your stuff. We want to. I love getting the feedback. It's been great. I want to thank everybody that responded to like my whole ordeal and stuff with the stairs and stuff this week. It was really, really cool and really encouraging. And so keep that up for me, and send me your stuff too and what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
Contact at tfradio.net. Sweet. Okay. Well, thanks, JD. We will be back next week with Get the Skinny.
This has been Get the Skinny with your hosts, Brian Kilby and JD Church. Copyright 2010 Radio Free Cybertron. Get the Skinny.